It's estimated that what happened to Reva Steenkamp repeats itself here every 3 hours.
Enough is enough!
Steenkamp became a symbol for the country's women. Because gender-based violence and femicide has been described by South Africa's president as a pandemic.
I am appalled at what is no less than a war that is being waged against the women and the children of our country.
Nairobi and our Africa correspondent Mercy Juma. Mercy, thank you for joining us on the program. You've been tracking today's protests there in the capital. How big are they and what are demonstrators calling for?
Indeed, Catherine, I am just right outside Parliament buildings now, and just a few meters behind me is the President's office, and this is the next stop that the protesters have been. They're just moving up towards the main area into the CBD, going further into Nairobi City, and they have been at this for the last about 1.5 hours. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of women. There are men that are supporting the women, and their call is just that they want people, men, to stop killing women.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. For those that are seeing my face for the first time, my name is Rila Schwartz and I'm the owner of this amazing channel. What do I bring to you guys? I bring to you guys all thought-provoking content, faith content, travel content, life in the UK, life in general, and basically anything that I actually want to talk about and I need you guys to actually input on. So if you like any of this content or any of these topics, do well to hit the subscribe button and subscribe to this amazing channel. Without further ado, let's just dive right into the video. So guys, today we're going to be tackling a heartbreaking yet critical topic, and the topic is femicide in Africa. In today's video, I'll be unpacking what femicide is, how it began, the causes of femicide, and most importantly, how do we prevent femicide?
This is femicide, and yes, you might be wondering, what is femicide? This is very interesting, so I think everyone should learn about this. Femicide is a sex-based hate crime, and the intention is to harm or kill women or girls just because they're females.
So I don't know if a lot of people have seen what's been going on in social media, and I mean particularly I want to reference a particular incident that occurred some few I think weeks back, and when I stumbled on that clip, I was just like gutted, like so gutted by it, because I was like, why would somebody do this? Why do women have to go through this kind of thing? I mean, she didn't deserve to be killed in this way. She didn't even deserve to be killed, first of all, but she didn't deserve to be killed in the manner at which she was killed. Now, if people have come across that video, I'm just going to put a clip of it just to show you guys what I'm talking about. So basically, that's the girl that was, according to sources and social media, basically this girl went to see a friend of hers. She told her sister that she was going to see her friend, and what happened is she went to see some guy, he, quote unquote, is a gospel singer, right? And apparently the guy butchered her and literally butchered her into multiple pieces. Like if you see, it's like a cow, like cow meat. Like they butchered her into multiple pieces. And this is just one of the many stories that is going on in Africa, not only in Nigeria, in South Africa, in Kenya, in Ghana, in a lot of places. And it's the worst part of it is that no matter how many people come out to speak about it, it's like radio silence. What is really being done to prevent this? Maybe I'm not really conversant with what is really being done, but I feel like it's just it's becoming too much at this point. It's becoming too much. A lot of women are being killed for no reason. A lot of people are being killed, and it's like an acceptable societal norm at this point. It's like, oh, she deserved it. Maybe she was a prostitute or something, and they'll be like, oh yeah, she deserves to be there. Nobody deserves to die that way. Nobody even deserves to die, first of all. But I mean, we all know that everyone's going to die, right? But nobody deserves to die in the manner at which these people have passed. I also have another story that this happened around, I think, 2020, 2021. And this one particularly hit home because it happened to someone that was from my country, not only from my country, I mean, she's also from my town, like where I'm from, and literally in the city that I was living in at the time. So basically, the story goes like this. So this lady went to, she was looking for a job, right? I mean, like, come on. She was looking for a job. She's not worked in a long time, so she was looking for like just a means to make ends meet. And then she happened to enter I think she went somewhere. I'm going to put a clip. If I find a clip, I'm going to put a clip somewhere just for you guys to have context of what I'm talking about. So she went somewhere and then she got murdered. And the worst part is they were like there was a social media uproar about this girl that she went somewhere and she got murdered. And I think part of the reason why she got murdered was because the internet took it up very fast, like very quickly. But it was just so sad that she was killed in her prime. She was killed, and this is somebody that had so much to live for. This is somebody that was literally more of like the breadwinner of her family. Do you get what I mean? So the case of femicide is like something that it hits home to some people that are watching. It hits home to me. It hits home to a lot of people that, I mean, have heard about this or I've experienced it for themselves firsthand, in terms of like maybe somebody that it happened to, maybe a sister, a cousin, a friend. It could have happened to them.
I've never slept anywhere before, but since 22nd of September to date, I have not sighted my daughter anywhere. I felt as if I should be in the same mortuary with my daughter right now, because she was my companion. She was a friend that I can confide in. She was 4 years when the father died. She has never lived anywhere except school. And during holiday, she stays with me. She was a kind of child that doesn't go out. I took pain to train my children. Then somebody will say she should not be on this planet Earth when God have not said she should go. For me to take care of my children, to make sure that they are educated, then close to her breakthrough, somebody will come and eliminate my child like that. In fact, to the last of my blood, I will continue to seek for justice for my daughter.
Femicide in itself isn't just a private misfortune. I mean, it is a societal crisis at this point. It has become a societal crisis. Like, we see it in a lot of things. We see it in, intimate partner violence. We see it in honor killing. We see it in crimes that are actually targeted towards the female gender, like rituals. I mean, we have heard so many stories where a girl has, so many stories where a girl has gone somewhere, and at the end of the day, we end up seeing her body on the road, or we see her body in the gutter. And guess what? A private part has been taken from her, either her private part or her breast, or something has been taken away, taken to use, or her eyeballs or something. And it's like, at this point, it's just crazy. And the worst part is that these acts are not just random occurrences. They are systemic acts. They are driven by culture. They are driven by societal norms. They are driven by a whole lot of factors targeted to devalue the women's lives. I come across a lot of videos and a lot of things, and to be honest, like, I was so disheartened. And one of the recent videos, like I said, intimate partner violence, I saw a video that was circulating on social media very recently, and this incident took place in Nigeria, and the man beat up his wife because she was singlet to go and pick up her kids from school, or to go and drop her kids from school. Guys, if you see the way this man beat up this woman, like, you would think that they beat somebody that stole. Although I'm not really in support of people that beat people that steal, because I know that a lot of times, like, you know, jungle justice, like when somebody steals, I understand, like, almost some people are hungry. Do you get what I mean? Like, people are hungry, but like, obviously, that's not a reason to go around stealing another person's sweat. But like, but you know, when they catch a thief in the market that went to go and steal, maybe stole pepper, maybe stole something, normally, like the Abu boys will beat him up, you know, he has a black eye, his whole face is swollen, and you're like, oh my days. Literally, that's the same way this man beat up this woman. And I was like, wow. And she was crying in that video. Tell me why a few seconds or minutes or even a day after, this woman comes online and says, oh, people should not insult her husband anymore. She knows how to settle it, and yada, yada, yada. Another situation where, another example, right, is where a couple just got married and they had a young help in the house, right? Now, societal norms, like I said, in the beginning, it's not even good that you have a young child in your house, maybe 13, 14, in the house with you, or someone that came to do helper work or house help work or maid work or whatever. That girl's supposed to be in school, right? I mean, I don't want to dive into that, but let's just focus on the topic, okay? So basically, this girl is in the house, and a young couple, they just got married, and the man that got married, he's sleeping with this girl, or he's raping this girl, sleeping with her, just abusing her basically. And then the issue comes to him, like maybe she gets pregnant, and people are not like, you cannot leave that marriage, oh. You know, if you leave that marriage, what's going to happen to you? You cannot do this, you cannot do that. Like, it's become a societal norm. People are accepting it. People are like, you know, covering up. It's more like the victims are having to cover up the perpetrators of this act. Do you understand what I mean? Do you understand how deeply rooted this situation is? It is so sickening to the point that, why is this happening? Why are people allowing this kind of things to go on in the society? Another situation is honor killing. Now, let's say a young girl, in a family, people are married off at a certain age, and in this, let's say, very young, and then when the girl gets to that age, she refused to marry, and they would say, okay, we can hang her, or she runs away or something, and they say, let's hang her because she refused it. And it's acceptable. The parents believe this, the mother believes it, the father believes it, the society all believe that killing her is a solution, killing her is what is best. That is what is promoting femicide. And I feel like we need to actually tackle these issues, because it's not okay. It's not okay that a girl cannot just go out and come back home in peace. It's not okay that people, like especially the female gender, they always have to look over their shoulder, even with their partner. It's that bad, even with their partner. I've had a case, I don't know if this case happened in South Africa or Kenya. I'm going to just put the clip on, but she was an athlete. She was an athletic person. I think she used to run. So in this particular incident, the man set her ablaze. The man set her ablaze because I think she wanted to leave the relationship. Guys, I'm telling you that this situation it calls for national concern. Like, it is something that we can't all keep quiet, because it might not be happening to you, but it might just happen to somebody that you know. It might just happen to, even if it's not somebody that you know, it can happen to anybody. That is why we need to bring awareness to situations like this. It is bad. So according to statistics, in 2022, an estimated number of 87,000 women were killed intentionally, and these killings was particularly in African countries. Now, this number is just not mere statistics. It's not just mere numbers. These are people's sisters. These are people's mother. These are people's friends. You know, these are people that their lives actually matter. Their lives, like, these are people that wanted to live. These are people who wanted to live a fruitful life, a fulfilling life. But what happened? Their life was cut short by what we call femicide. Their life was cut short by people that targeted them. Their life was cut short by the society, basically.
A person who I love, when I pour acid for my face, my children, father, in that matter. It's not easy for me to they wake up every morning. I could see another different face from the way I be before. It could just change overnight. Because not be so I be before human person where I love call turn me to another thing. Some people go say, wait till you do the boy wait take pour you acid. The girl write me for WhatsApp say she had the feel say I don't arrive that time. Say now my face don't without vampire don't find past my face. Some go say your younger you too overdoing younger. They don't damage your face for ground. The word plenty, not be all of them, but the word they plenty people don't tell me for this face. For this my face will spoil so. And this now 5 months now. June 6, 2024, this year night happen. Till today, till tomorrow, self, I don't know what me do when we make a pour acid for my face because that very the way this thing happen, me and I no fight, so no quarrel.
I remember having a conversation with a friend and I was like, the perpetrators of this act are highly men. And my friend was like, oh no, men. I'm like, guy, you know that I'm not saying that men do not face some sort of domestic violence. They do. But right now, the issue is the people that are perpetrating this act are actually men. Why are men killing women? Why do you think that to solve an issue, you have to actually kill a woman for you to feel better? Why do you think that? Why is it that people should actually go into ritual money? It's a way of finding money, and the way of finding money is to get a woman's breast or a woman's private part because they need to find money. Why? Why is this happening? Why is it that people in a relationship cannot feel safe because the man that they are dating wants their head, wants them to die, wants to set them ablaze, wants to beat them over an argument, over a disagreement? Like, I feel like if you do not know how to control your anger, you need therapy. You cannot channel your anger towards a woman in the form of violence because it doesn't make sense. So femicide has existed for a very long time, but it was not until a feminist scholar by the name Diana Russell coined the name femicide. What Diana Russell did was bringing attention to the gendered killing in 1976. She brought this attention to the International Tribunal on Crime Against Women. What she also did was she actually made it in such a way that she presented such a way that they had to separate femicide from other forms of homicide. Like I said, she emphasized the importance of separating homicide from femicide or other crimes like death-related crimes or killing-related crimes to femicide in itself. So I mean, she really did a whole lot of work. And by the 90s, this term grew traction, right? Particularly during the women's rights movement. You know, it's actually very sad to say that, unfortunately, despite the awareness on femicide keeps growing rampant in African countries. And this is because of, a very poor legal system, poverty, and also cultural norms. These things have actually made femicide gain so much and grow so much over the years. It's actually like a fuel. When you pour fuel into fire, obviously it's going to be like more. So guys, I believe that femicide doesn't just occur in a vacuum. It is a result of several interconnected factors. Let's break it down. So the first one is basically the economic dependency. In Africa, we see that a lot of women are economically dependent on their partner. And this has also resulted to a lot of domestic violence not being reported, and basically that's why they are trapped in a lot of abusive relationships. We see that these women, they are in abusive relationships and they cannot literally voice out because they are dependent economically on the man that is abusing them. According to the Plain Foundation, 1 out of 3 women in Nigeria often report domestic abuse and they cannot leave because they have some sort of financial dependency on their abuser. The next one on the list is patriarchal norms and gender inequality. So we see that in Africa, a lot of this, like I feel like Africa is deeply rooted in patriarchy, and in Africa most especially, women are often viewed as properties, they're viewed as whole community, and it's just normalized. Honor killing, for instance, it stems from the belief that a woman's behavior can shame her family. Like a woman deciding or whatever she decides to do against the family shames the family. So this is why I say that there's so much gender inequality. I mean, why is it that a man's behavior doesn't shame the family? Why does it have to be the woman shaming the family by her actions? Do you get what I mean? The next one on the list is the weak legal framework and enforcement. The legal system is so messy, it's so weak, it's so like, I mean, I'm saying this because there are cases where a man beats his wife and you take the case to the police station and tell you it's not family matter or not family matter, no put mouth for family matter. And I'm like, what are you saying? What are you talking about? What is God? I mean, what is family matter in this? Somebody hit somebody and you're saying it's family matter because quote unquote they're husband and wife. I feel like even in countries with laws against domestic violence and gender-based killing, enforcement is very weak because we see it in so many ways. We see it in we see it in real life. Like these perpetrators of this crime, they walk scot free. I just gave instances when a man beats a woman or beats his wife and they take him to the police station and people are saying, either they are saying, this is a family matter. It's family matter, go and settle it as a family. Or the people in the family, I'm talking about, I'm just digressing a bit, but people in the family are like, how will you report now? It's just, they used to endure. There's something they say in my language. I'm going to put the meaning anyway. My language say, ese mimindo. And I'm like, what do you mean by ese mimindo? Like, it literally means you have to endure marriage. You endure marriage. And I'm like, a man will beat a woman blue, black, and you're saying that she has to endure. Make it make sense. Perpetrators often escape justice, and it just sends a message to women that the life of a woman is expendable. Like literally, the life of a woman is expendable because what are you saying? If these men don't get justice, if these men don't get get served the term that they deserve for the actions that they have committed, why? We've seen it in so many cases, even in Nigeria. The couple of cases that's happened, and they brought the guy to do an interview after he had butchered the case I talked about earlier on in this video. I'm going to put a clip again. They brought the guy to, talk about what happened. And I saw that guy's face. Hey God. The guy does not even look like somebody that is remorseful. And I bet you, that guy is not going, he doesn't even look like someone that they want to. It looks more like a cover-up, like they're trying to cover something. I might not know this for a fact, but I'm assuming, based off of what I'm seeing, it doesn't look like he's somebody that they want to even send to jail or they want to even kill. Because I feel like if you can butcher somebody like that, the law should take its course. And the capital offense, I think the capital offense should be murder as well. Because you can't kill somebody and you just go to jail for 5 years or 20 years and come out and living a normal life. No, you have to also die. I feel like when the law takes its focus on the enforcement agencies, the law enforcement agencies actually do the right thing, people will be scared. You cannot say that you will kill somebody and you go to and they catch you and you don't die yourself. By the time that a lot of people are also getting killed for what the crimes that they commit, a lot of people will be scared. They will not want to do it again. They will not even think of doing it. Do you understand? Or maybe they will think of doing it, but the rate will reduce because by the time you think of the repercussions of your actions, you're going to think twice. Does that make sense?
How were you caught?
I was not caught. I surrendered myself.
How? You were caught trying to dispose?
I surrendered myself. If I didn't want anybody to catch me, I would have done that. It's very simple.
It's not true.
It's simple, to be honest.
Simi said he surrendered himself.
Are you ready to face the wrath of the law?
It's not a big thing to pay. It's not a big thing to pay.
The next one is cultural practices. I mean, we know that a lot of African countries practice early marriage, and when I say early marriage, like people are betrothed from the early ages. We see it even in the northern region in Nigeria. We see it in a lot of places, a lot of African countries where children are being betrothed and then given out at the early age of like 12, 13, 14, given out to alajis. That's one. Early marriages, female mutilation, honor killings. We see it in all these cultural practices, and all this contributes to a culture where women's anatomy is being suppressed. In some cases, these situations lead to violence and sometimes killing. Now, let's talk about some of the recent cases that highlights the severity of femicide in Africa. One of the recent cases of this happened in Nigeria and in Abuja, Nasarawa, and it's a case that involved a lady by the name Salome, and she was actually killed by her boyfriend, Timmy something. Apparently, this guy is said to be a gospel singer. Her age has not been disclosed on social media or anywhere, but she's actually a very young girl that was in a relationship with this supposed gospel singer, and it ended up that she ended up dying from him. He ended up unaliving her, and he was found with her head, in a bag. He was found in like some area. It was trying to between the borders of Nasarawa and Abuja. That's where he was found, and he was apprehended. And I think I talked about it earlier in this video where he was interviewed, and this man did not show any sign of remorse. I don't know that's basically what happened. So that's like one of the recent cases. Now, this girl was not a prostitute. She was not a hookup girl. She was not like, them girls that even, do you know what? When I hear people say, like, try to justify that killing somebody or killing a girl, like a girl being killed or used for some sort of rituals is justifiable because she had a particular business or line of work that she ventured into. It just breaks my heart. But in this particular instance, this lady was none of that. She didn't do that. Like, so even if you wanted to justify, because she's a prostitute or whatever, this particular lady was not a prostitute. She was in a relationship. I suppose a healthy relationship. I mean, that was what she probably thought it was, a healthy relationship. I'm going to see my boyfriend, and ended up going to visit her boyfriend, and he ended up unaliving her. So that's like very, 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 very painful. And my heart goes out to the family of the girl and the friends and families of the girl. Another victim of femicide goes by the name Rebecca Chitengi. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that name wrong. This happened in Kenya in 2024. She was a marathon runner, and she was murdered by her boyfriend as well. Another case of femicide was that of Irene Metwan Yana. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing her name wrongly, but she was a student of the Cape Town University, and she was raped and murdered at a post office. And basically, this is like someone that was just probably going home or just going to the post office. She was raped and murdered. However, the perpetrator of this act got a 3-year, life sentence, 3-year consecutive life sentence. But I said before, I do not feel like the it's enough for what they have done. I don't think that sentence is enough, but I'm not a judge, so he knows best. I mean, clearly that's more like a life sentence or a death penalty, but I prefer the death penalty better. But I mean, who am I to judge? I don't think I can actually sit down here and talk about it enough, because the rippling effect of what femicide does is just, at this point, is scary. Once someone is killed, like, by this kind of thing, like, once femicide occurs, once someone's a victim of femicide, it's not just them, it's like literally the family of the person now has to bear that loss. This is somebody's sister, somebody's friend, somebody's mother, The rippling effect of femicide cannot be overemphasized. Like, a family is thrown into mourning, and again, it's not only that, it's not only a personal loss, it's a societal issue, and this throws people into constant fear, and also it stresses the fact that there's so much inequality in the society, inequality between the man and the woman. There's just so much inequality between the genders. And it is a big issue. In Africa, the women chant, "Am I next?" In Kenya, marches have gone on and on over the same issue. The solution is what we're looking for, because the crisis still continues. The issues still are going on and on and on and on. I don't think they've done any march in Nigeria, but I really feel like we need to do one in Nigeria, because, like, why? South Africa, the women chant, "Am I next?" And in Kenya, the marches demand accountability. However, both of these shows obviously, a source of awareness, but the crisis demand urgency. The crisis still demand urgency, because there's still, even after you shout and you chant, it's still there. It's still there. So it demands some sort of urgency to tackle this issue, to actually tackle it, to bring it to an end. I believe that stopping femicide requires action from every level. So individual, community, and government. And here's what we can do. The first one on the list is actually stopping harmful norms. Now, Rome was not built in a day, but I believe that by this video, by you coming online to come and say something, by you even doing something in your community to create awareness, or to bring, some sort of awareness of this issue, it would help. It would go a long way. The second one on the list is strengthen laws and enforcement, and this can be done by the government bringing up laws that, stronger laws and bringing up laws and stronger penalties for those perpetrators of femicide. I mean, countries like South Africa have really strict laws and penalties against femicide. I also believe that this can be emulated by other African countries. Like I said before in this video, if the law says, if I catch you with the head of a human being, or I've caught you, you've killed somebody, you've killed a female, like you've committed an act of femicide, you're going to die. People are going to be scared. Next on the list is educating the next generation. I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. The fight against femicide is a 3-level thing. It's individual, community, and the government. But if we educate the next generation on equality, on inequality, right, it would help us, because the fight against femicide also starts from a changed mindset, and that is the way forward. That's what we strive to do. That's what I'm striving to do by this video. That's what everybody should strive to do. Next on the list is support survivors and activists, and I believe that by our support to NGOs, to organizations that are fighting against the same cause, we are indirectly saving a life. There's an organization in Nigeria, it's called the Clean Foundation. It actually fights against these issues. And also another one in Kenya is Women Against Violence. If we support this, donate to this organization, donate to these NGOs, we are actually saving a life. So guys, we've come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, kindly leave a thumbs up and join the conversation by commenting down below your thoughts. I really want to hear, what are your thoughts on femicide in Africa? Also, do support the organizations that are fighting against femicide in your country. It will really go a long way in saving a life. Thank you guys once again for watching. I hope to see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to stay safe and make good choices. Bye.